Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. Fikret Erin, a Turkish violin teacher, was being persuaded by his friend to go paragliding. His friend was a licensed paraglider and the idea was they would go up together, but Fikret found the prospect a bit scary. So in the end he did go, but he took with him his violin and played it while they were paragliding. And this distraction, doing something with which he was very comfortable at the same time, enabled him to enjoy the paragliding, and now he himself is training to get his own license. Fear is something that is very much part of the lives of all of us, and it takes different shapes. Um, Sometimes it's like the paragliding, it's something we can choose to do or not to do. And occasionally, if it's a conversation that we feel lies ahead of us that might be difficult, or some task that we don't fancy taking on because it's a challenge, there's a kind of fear. And I think there we just have to do what the title of Susan Jeffers' book describes: feel the fear and do it anyway, providing it's a good thing to do. To fear is only a feeling. As Roosevelt said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, and sometimes you just have to get on and do something. Then there's the kind of fear that comes to us because of what we expect in the future, something that might happen that we're not looking forward to. Maybe the loss of a job, or a bereavement, or maybe we're facing an illness or an operation in ourselves or someone else. And there, in a way, we can't do much about it. And distraction in that situation can often be quite helpful. Then there's the kind of what you might call the existential fear, just the sense that life is against us, that whatever we do, it will go wrong. It's just a sort of, and the pandemic hasn't helped this, because meeting people has had about it that sense of anxiety. Are we going to catch something from them? And that's increased this sort of sense that fear is just part of life without having anything particular to focus on. And here I think often those of us who have a faith can get help. The words "do not be afraid" are very, very frequent in the Bible, both in the Hebrew scriptures and in the New Testament. And God is there to see us through things that we're afraid of. I don't think it means that we'll be saved from any harm or any difficulty that we might face in life. We do have to go through difficult times. I think what it's saying is, do not be afraid, because ultimately life is not against you. God is on your side and you are loved. And then there's the kind of fear that actually is irrational. It's based on some kind of deep psychological anxiety that we can't always trace. I suppose the most common of these is fear of flying, but you know, we know it's perfectly safe, but actually we're still afraid of it. And there are other things like that you may have other people experience. And here I think it is a question of trying to track down what the cause of that is, because very often it starts with something in the past, often when we're quite young, that stimulated this fear, and it has got built into the way we feel about things. And if we try and track it back to what the original cause is, then I think we may find that we can deal with it more effectively. And so as I think about fear today, I think the important thing is to work out what kind of fear it is. And the solution will depend on that. And I'm sure God is in there in all the answers, whether it's facing life which seems to be hostile, or having the courage to do something which we know is right but haven't quite found the courage to do, or whether it's in dealing with an irrational fear that we need help to sort out. God is part of all those responses, but as well as God's help, there are often practical things that we can do to help ourselves. And I think the two things have to go side by side as we deal with the fear that's in the lives of all of us.